Humans have been using enhancements for thousands of years, from simple stone tools a caveman might have used to things humans use every day.
Such as glasses, makeup, mobile phones, and even clothes.
Mankind is on a constant quest for perfection, leading to a world where plastic surgery and prosthetics are commonplace.
However, inspired by the Superhuman exhibition at the Wellcome Collection, we wanted to find out whether these enhancements really improve us and whether or not a perfect human being can really exist.
We decided to ask the public for their opinion.
If you could replace a part of your body, what would it be?
Probably my brain.
I've often thought it'd be really good to be able to have a camera that's attached to your eye movement so that you could capture directly what your eye sees.
Every woman would like to, in my country at least, I always need to lose 3 kilos, something like this.
No, actually I'm very happy with the body parts I've got at the moment.
Would you like to be perfect?
No, I think it's good that we're not perfect.
Would you like to be perfect?
Mostly perfect, but not totally perfect.
So who influences this agreed idea of perfection?
I suppose it's got history to it, the human ideal that was established in ancient times has gone through almost to Hollywood now. There's a sort of continuation really of what's a perfect human being.
It's really hard to define what perfection in a human being is, particularly if we're thinking about what it might look like as opposed to how it might feel or what it might be able to do. I think our ideas of what perfection are can vary depending on your cultural context, your values, and also from individual to individual. So at the moment, you might be able to choose to pursue your ideal of what beauty might be, for example, using cosmetic surgery. But I'm not sure that that means that in the future everyone's going to look exactly the same.
How would you feel about a future where everyone was perfect, if it were possible?
Yeah, this future is coming already. Yeah, I looked at some pictures of people 100 years ago. There were much more individuals than today. You know, big noses and big, limping around and big hats. You know, today we basically all wear the same clothes. We look quite similar. You can not only buy the same things in New York than in London. The New Yorkers look also today same like the Londoners. So globalization is not only happening in products, it's happening in humans too. And it's very boring.
A prosthetic is something that, used either externally or internally, replaces or assists the functioning of a missing or dysfunctional part of the body. So it could be a prosthetic leg, or it could be a pacemaker that helps your heart beat properly to the proper rhythm. So it's something that enables a normal function over a kind of natural dysfunction. Or sometimes it's something that gives the appearance of normality. So if you think about a glass eye, for example, it will never see.
Shall I show you my fingers? Can you see them?
Yes, we can see.
Right. Normally people don't, they see this, which is probably less noticeable. Yeah, I was 11 years old. I got my hand caught in some farm machinery.
So have you ever used prosthetics at all?
No, I've never thought of it. And I think it's because it was never suggested to me at the time that my hand was repaired. I think I couldn't contemplate using prosthetics now because of the length of time since the accident. So since the accident, my brain has kind of hardwired my hand as it is, and I operate perfectly effectively. The index finger is interesting because I do everything with it. But if I compare it to the index finger of the left hand, well, I don't know if you can see, but it's much smaller. The left hand is much smaller than the right hand. So the right finger has compensated because I can carry as much weight with the right hand as the left hand, really.
As a child, did you ever try to use prosthetics?
Yes, they gave me all kinds of special. I was, for example, for many years when I was sleeping in a stretch bed, kind of. It was stretched into something I couldn't move. They said it's good for my back. And then I put always in the evening an electric towel or a heating towel in it because it was so cold to lie into this thing. And God thanks, in the middle of the night I rolled out of this thing, and otherwise I would be grilled because there was how you say in English, a defect in the thing, and it burned. Now then, that was the end of this bed, and I had certain things for my arms to stretch them up.
So you think prosthetics are generally a negative thing?
If they are very good, yeah? If they are mostly made by people who know what they do, meaning people who have the same problem than I do. For example, I have a car, yeah, which is made by a guy without arms, yeah? And I drive with my left foot. And it's wonderful. It should always come in a way from me, yeah, and not being opposed, you know, from someone else, from a doctor or a specialist, yeah? I should invent it in a way, or someone who's very similar to me.
Now we're beginning to see prosthetics that not just replace that function or help that function, but improve on the function of a normal limb or organ. So nobody would mistake a blade leg for a natural leg. It's not a question of trying to disguise a disability, but trying to design a prosthetic that brings the best performance out for that particular need.
Do you think the Paralympics challenge our idea of what it is to be perfect?
Yes, I think the Paralympics is really important for many reasons. Because number one, when you are together with a disabled person, after a few hours you forget that the person is disabled, yeah? And if in the media there are more disabled people, yeah, then it becomes normal, yeah? People are not so astonished anymore to see me in the street because they're used to it.
I think any of these kind of technologies which allow people who would previously be discounted as disabled to participate in mainstream society and mainstream events and to be shown as excellent sportsmen and athletes will start to challenge our idea of what perfection looks like. I think sometimes we can get carried away with the idea that perfection rests in what we think of as a normal body. But if you want to be the perfect wheelchair basketball player, then obviously it doesn't.
Nobody's Perfect is basically about my biggest fear, about being naked, because then you can see my arms. And it's more obvious that I'm disabled. And so we made a story around that I have to persuade 11 other thalidomiders who have the same disability like me to strip naked for a nude calendar, and I have to be Mr. December. It's very hard to be honest about your biggest fear, about your, nobody's perfect, the title already, yeah? Nobody is perfect, and I think everybody is disabled, yeah? In my case, you see it very obviously. In your case, it's probably inside, yeah? You are afraid of your mother, or you're an alcoholic, or depressed, or what the hell, yeah? So everybody's disabled. And to not overcome the disability, but to to change the disability in something positive, yeah, you have to look at it and be honest about it. Publicly honest, yeah? Not only to yourself, yeah? There is the day where you have to say, you know, sorry, I hate my mother, yeah? Yeah? If this is the case.
In the exhibition, if we look at someone like Amy Mullins, she's a model and an athlete and a double amputee. And she chooses to talk about what others might consider a disability as a possibility, an opportunity to reinvent ideas of beauty, of identity. And so perhaps in a future where everybody has access to enhancement technology, instead of all looking the same, we might look more different, and those differences might not constitute disabilities or disadvantages.
So enhancements, when designed and used thoughtfully, can help us to achieve and be happy, as long as we can broaden our ideas about what it means to be perfect.